Well, Moses joined me on the desk. Now it seems that the Lloydminster Bobcats, well, they've run out of their 9 lives. Definitely a tough game for the Cats last night.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing too, considering the way they bounced back after games, of course, 3 and 4, losing down 3-1, came back Game 5, Game 6, forcing that Game 7. But what's even more impressive is they won 2 of those games in Fort Mac. But we know the Oil Barons definitely were up for this one. So we'll go to the highlights. And big moment here. Courtesy Air flew down several Bobcat fans, including some of our very own at Newcap Sports. Now in the first, the mob setting the tone early. Taylor Laikis catching Troy Rapuano with a big hit. Now Raps, he's a tough kid. He would get back up and be in the game. Now moments later, Jetlin Helcher, outlet pass, connects to the speedy Kevin Miller. He sneaks it under the arm of Christopher Ty, his 4th of the playoffs, 1-0 Mac. Now turnovers, a problem. Here you'll see Brennan Saulnier corralling the loose puck, but Ty coming up with a huge toe save, keeping it a 1-goal game. Now to the second, Oil Barons with a chance to go up a pair. Jetlin Helcher left all alone. Ty coming up with a poke check. Later, Cats shorthanded. Austin McDonald driving, tries roofing the backhand, but denied by Tanner Gillette. Other way, Bobcats leaving Caden Tobin in the slot uncovered, but Ty bailing his team out. In the third, tough break here, as Ty playing well, but not at this moment. Pretty much handing a gift to Adam Durkee, who cashes in, giving the Mob a big 2-goal lead. Cats trying desperately to come back. Cole Porter with the point shot stopped by Gillette. Braden Crone comes out from behind the net, can't put it away. The clock strikes 0, and Fort Mac hold on to the 2-0 win and take the best of 7 series 4-3. Now Christopher Ty and Tanner Gillette made 23 saves each. Gillette getting the upper hand with the shutout. Now this was the first time in the postseason Austin McDonald was also left on the score sheet, or left off the score sheet. Matt Schumont has more on a heartbreaking loss for the Cats.
Heading into Game 7, winning the last 2 games and taking 2 of 3 in Fort McMurray, it seemed the Bobcats were entering the final game of the North Division semifinals as the favorites. But after not being able to generate much offense and allowing a pair of goals, the Cats seen their season come to an end Wednesday night, dropping Game 7 2-0.
These guys in the last 2 months, the character, the determination, everything that they've shown and displayed, you can't do any better job of what these guys have done. And I mean, they'll be better hockey players as a result of what they've committed and what they've done.
You could see it the whole playoffs, this whole season. I mean, no matter what happened, guys just gave everything they had. And I mean, we came back in round 1, and I mean, we pushed Fort Mac all the way to Game 7, and I mean, we battled all the way to the wire. And I mean, I can't thank those guys enough for everything they did in there.
What might be a tough pill to swallow was the fact the Bobcats were also shut out on the power play, not getting a single man advantage in the game. Considering they scored 3 times with a man up in Game 6, they feel things could have been different if they were able to get a couple opportunities.
And there was definitely a couple calls that could have been made, but you know, that's not up to us. It's a factor that you can't control, so you know, just have to move on from that, I guess.
We see things out there that, you know, in the heat of the moment they may not see, they may not be in the right position, or the decisions they make aren't always the same decisions that we think should be made.
Now, despite losing this series in 7 games, the Cats did shoot themselves in the foot a couple times, blowing 2-goal leads in Games 1 and 4.
We got to come out with a jump. You know, when we get a lead, we got to keep it. We can't let it slide.
They played 2 pretty good games, and I mean, I believe in my heart that the better team didn't win.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
Tough break for Baker and company, but kudos to them on a great run. That's all the time we have in our first look at sports. Gerard is up next with weather. Talk about a bunch of happy dogs. For the first time in the program's history, the Lloydminster Red Dogs will be playing midget Tier 1 football in the Capital District Minor Football Association. They'll be joined by the Edmonton Chargers, Battle River Shock, River Millwoods Grizzlies, and a very tough Parkland Predators team.
You know, pretty much a perennial powerhouse in Tier 1 for the last 5-6 years, and we managed to tie them 4-4. And it was back and forth, and we were up for a while, and they were up for a while. So we were quite happy with that performance, because that's a really good measuring stick going up against those guys.
The Red Dogs have won back-to-back Tier 2 titles, only losing once in that span. They've also matched up against Tier 1 teams, and Coach Kirby sees big things from his club.
We've played a lot of these guys over the last couple of years in crossover games and had a lot of success with them. The Predators were actually one of the only teams we haven't played out of Tier 1, so them and the St. Albert Storm. So we know what we're up against, and I think if we work hard, we can have the same success.
It's a great opportunity, actually, because last year we played a tier lower, and we can just show everybody that we can play Tier 1 and we can win a championship in Tier 1.
The Dogs open the season against St. Albert Saturday in Spruce Grove. What a spectacular kid. You know what? Let's move on to some spectacular hockey tonight at the Civic Center. The Baker Hughes Bobcats will look to keep their season alive, trailing 2-1 in the AMHL Finals to the Red Deer Optimist Chiefs. Now, home teams winning all 3 games so far. That looks very good if this trend continues for the Bobcats. They look to take this one and tie up the series. Puck drop is at 7:30. That's all the time we have in sports. We'll have more Newcap news and weather after the break.